Welcome to the African History Network show. I am your host, Brother Michael Imhotep, founder of the African History Network, host of the African History Network show. I'm a talk show host, researcher, lecturer, and writer. Hey, today is Wednesday, July 12th, 2017. Wednesday, July 12th, 2017. We're doing a special broadcast tonight. I am joined by Queen Taese of the Liberated Minds Black Homeschool and Education Expo, the Liberated Minds Black Homeschool and Education Expo. We're going to bring her on here in just a minute. So we're broadcasting on Facebook Live, our Facebook fan page, the African History Network, our Facebook fan page, the African History Network. We're broadcasting live there. And we should be on our YouTube channel also. Okay, so just search for Michael Imhotep on YouTube. We should be broadcasting on our YouTube channel as well. Okay, so let me bring Queen Taese on here in just a minute. I'm using 3 or 4 different technologies here. So let me bring her on here. Got her, invite on screen. Okay, how's everybody doing on Facebook? As well, those on Facebook, share this broadcast on your own Facebook page. Invite your friends to tune in. All right. And I'm trying to bring you on screen, Queen Taese. So I think it's asking your permission for me to bring you on screen. Okay. So it's trying to connect. All right. Okay. So we'll get her up here in just a minute. So this is the 6th annual Liberated Minds Black Homeschool and Education Expo. It's that time of the year again. And we this weekend we'll be in. Okay, there she is. All right. All right. So can you see me, sister?
I can see you.
Okay. Can you hear me okay?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Good, good. Now, those on Facebook, can you hear? Let me see. I'm trying to test this on Blog Talk Radio. So I'm trying to test the levels here. 3, 8, 13. Okay. So on Facebook, can you hear Queen Taese? How's everybody doing? Adrian and Tamisha and Adrena, Amin, Ajamu. How's everybody doing? Okay. I just want to make sure you all will be able to hear us, Erica. Okay. So this is the 6th annual Liberated Minds Black Homeschool and Education Expo. 6th annual Liberated Minds Black Homeschool and Education Expo. And Queen Taese, are you the co-founder or the founder? I want to get that clear.
I am the founder. I am the founder.
Okay. You are the founder. Okay. And say something again. I just want to test the levels.
I said, I am the founder. Absolutely.
Yeah, I got you. I got you coming through on Blog Talk. Good. All right. So tell us what's going to happen this weekend at the Georgia Piedmont Technical Center in Hotlanta, because I know it's going to be hot this weekend.
It definitely is. Definitely is.
What's going to happen this weekend?
Well, we are once again just coming together, all of us brothers and sisters from across the country, from across the globe. This really is a very sacred and special time, I know, for myself and many others, as we come together to stand in our true power of educating our own, recognizing the importance of what that means, building relationships, and very, very much importantly so, making sure that we're putting in the work, the training, the education, learning, building and growing together, having the opportunity to connect with over 100 vendors, our Black-owned businesses that create resources for us, by us, whether it's Black curriculum materials, Black books, all types of resources that we need for our people. So we will be on the grind, putting in some hard work, but also just enjoying each other's company, fellowshipping, and strengthening each other up.
All right. Excellent. Excellent. So I want to test something because on Facebook, Facebook, they can hear you, but on Blog Talk, for some reason, it wasn't coming through. So I just want to test something once again here. All right. Hold on. I'm going to try it on another phone. I want to make sure this is coming through on Blog Talk. It should be, because and I can hear you through the mixer board here. You got all that on. I can hear you through the mixer board. Okay. And on Facebook, they can hear me. So that's good. I just want to test one other thing here, because all this is running through my mixer board. So let me just dial in here to Blog Talk for a minute. Okay, so this year, so it's 3 days. So explain the first day to us, which is this Friday, July 14th.
July the 14th, yes. Well, the first day really is just a time for us to come together in a more intimate way. It is our meet and greet, and this year will be at the House of Kemet, which is in Stone Mountain, about 5 minutes from the venue of Piedmont Technical College. And really what it is more of an intimate social gathering where we have the opportunity to introduce ourselves, discuss why we came, you know, our reasons, our purposes. It's an opportunity for our children to get to know each other with like minds, and parents to get together, educators to get together, community members, community leaders, you know, all of us who come together to assure the proper education of our children. It's an opportunity that's a little bit more laid back than the Expo, because the Expo is really intense once it gets going. You know, it's a lot of high-paced activity, and there's not a lot of time to just really talk quietly and build intimately on that level. So it's a time that we can just come together, fellowship. We have complimentary vegan food for the family. We have great music. You know, we just, you know, us Africans, we can't do it without the food and the music. So making sure that, you know, we have a nice atmosphere, and it'll be a little bit of, it's organic. It's just very organic, you know, so however it flows, that's how we go with it on Friday.
Okay, so Friday, where's it going to take place on Friday, and what's the start time and approximate end time? So people.
Okay, Friday will take place at the House of Kemet. It starts at 6 o'clock and it goes until 10 o'clock. And you can get all further details, I should say, on the website at www.liberatedmindsexpo.com. That's minds with an S. Liberatedmindsexpo.com. It gives all the information about specifically where the meet and greet is. It has a map and everything that's needed on there as well for more particulars, because we have a lot of people who are traveling in from out of town. So you're one of them. Exactly. So
exactly. Okay.
And you know, this was also per your suggestion and a few others, as we always usually have it at Omenala African History Griot Museum, is to find something that was a little bit closer to the venue, so it was a little bit more accommodating for you all coming in.
That's always good. Yeah, I get in early Saturday morning this time. I won't be able to make it Friday. I get in. It's about 8 a.m. Saturday when I get in.
Well, we're looking forward to you being here again.
Absolutely. Okay, so Friday we have the meet and greet, and the information's at the website liberatedmindsexpo.com, liberatedmindsexpo.com, and then on Saturday, what's going to happen on Saturday?
Well, Saturday is our great power day. It is power in purpose, pure power in purpose. So when we come together, we have a host of workshops throughout the day. There's over 50 workshops that will be present at the Expo this year. And that's including the workshops for our children, ages 4 to 10 and 11 to 17, which we decided was really a great opportunity for us to share with our youth, and impart a lot of the things that us as adults were receiving, but in a way that they could receive it that was palatable for them as well. And so we took advantage of that opportunity. So they have awesome workshops themselves, from science to mathematics to youth entrepreneurship. They have sound bowl healing. They're learning about everything from an African holistic standpoint. And so with that being said, for the adults, the adults have a choice. We have 4 different sessions, and with those sessions, we have three simultaneous classes that run. And so based upon where we are specifically, like one person may have a child about to go to college, and they want specifically something for, you know, the older children. Another one may be pregnant and wants to deal with, the transition into this phase. Right. And so we deal with the core of, what people know as core academics. But in addition, we deal from an African-centered standpoint, an African-centered worldview, because if we're not infusing that in our education, if we're not looking through our own eyes, then it really has no value and purpose for us and for our community. So with that being said, you're really able to choose what is most pertinent to you and your life. One of the things I always share, though, is that a lot of people come to the Expo with one preconceived notion of what they want to do and what they want to get from it. And generally, it goes an opposite direction, and they're able to meet someone that just totally changes their life. It's just a really magical experience, because we never really know how the dots are going to connect. But the fact that we are all there for a common goal, a common reason, we know that just beautiful things are going to take place We have awesome vegan food. So for those of you who have not tried, we a lot of times we don't really share that per se, and on the information, just because a lot of people get a little skeptical. I don't want that vegan food. And what happens is when they come, they get the best soul food of their life. And so they really leave, opened up in their mind in terms of what eating healthy can be like, can feel like, and they really enjoy the camaraderie and other brothers and sisters who are trying it. And they actually leave saying, oh, wow, I want to learn how to make that. So it really, it's about planting seeds. It's really about planting seeds for us to germinate along our journey. Exactly. Well, look, those on Facebook, share this broadcast on your own Facebook page. Invite your friends to tune in. Hey, you already knew me. I'm Michael Imhotep on the African History Network. This is a special broadcast of the African History Network show, but we're speaking with Queen Taese. Now, Queen Taese is the founder of the Liberated Minds Black Homeschool and Education Expo. So when you hear me talk about this, and everybody knows the third weekend in July, Michael. Third weekend in July, every year. July, I'm in Atlanta, okay? For the Expo, this is the 6th annual Expo. It's taking place this weekend, Friday, July 14th through Sunday, July 16th. So even if you can't make it Friday, the actual Expo portion with the workshops and things like this are Saturday and Sunday. And even if you can only make it one day, on that one day, because it's going to totally blow you away. Okay. Absolutely. And this year we too will have, for the first time, because everyone always asks every year, well, I can't make it. So for those who can't make it, we will have recordings of a lot of the presentations this year. Oh, wow. So, that's good. Yes, because that's been a huge thing every year. People have been asking, and also copies of the Liberated Minds Black Homeschool and Education magazine, which comes out. And it's specifically for us, because when we deal with homeschooling, it's not just a transplant of the Eurocentric way of thought. It is a total different set of circumstances that we deal with as African people. And there's a realness to it. It really allows us to deal with our own issues, to go deep, to dive in. When we talk about educating and cultivating our children, we have to take all of these things into account, the context of which they're learning in, and also our own particular mindset. And so I call it the detoxification of our own indoctrination. And so that's really what we're dealing with. We talk about educating our children. And if we're not willing to do that work, then we're just passing on the same pathology. So it's really about our training and getting our minds right so we can pass on the correct information to assure, a great future for our children, intergenerational wealth, all the things that we talk about building and attaining our greatness. The detoxification of our own indoctrination. Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. Yeah. And this is about taking our minds back. And the other thing is, and we'll get to some of the questions on Facebook now. Somebody on Facebook already has a question. They said, how can I get the recordings? Okay. So, yes, you will be able to go to www.liberatedmindsexpo.com. So as soon as they are available, and I can't say exactly when, I would say check back in maybe a week. But even better, if you go to the website and you sign up on the email list, then we definitely will send out an email as soon as they're available, and you'll be sure to be the first in the know. Absolutely. Absolutely. And then also be sure to sign up for our email list. Go to AfricanHistoryNetwork.com, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. You can register there for our email list as well. Okay. So Erica on Facebook said the detoxification of our own liberation, but detoxification of our own indoctrination. Indoctrination. Yes. Yes. Okay. So then now Sunday you'll be part of that awesomeness, which is our economic summit and our vegan brunch. Yeah. And that is, we know that when we talk about homeschooling or just taking our power back and educating our own, it also goes right along with our entrepreneurship. And most of us have some level of aspiration of, building some type of financial wealth. And I say intergenerational wealth is not just dealing with finances, is a whole nother aspect to that, in itself. However, we will be diving in. We'll be going in hard from all levels, from an alchemy, monetary alchemy level, from the hardcore truth and context of what you'll be bringing to the table, us understanding what we're really dealing with from a contextual standpoint. Because when we deal with strategy and really changing things, we have to be willing to understand. And that's something where I lack, really understanding the construct and the context of, all the political stuff, because I get quick to just turn it off. I don't want to hear it.
There's a couple of things I'm going to deal with.
Real.
Number one, I'm going to deal with the rise of Donald Trump, because a lot of us didn't see Donald Trump coming. I saw Donald Trump coming. And then my listeners know I've been warning them. I was warning them about Donald Trump for months leading up to the election.
Yes.
And the things that are coming out now about the Russian collusion. I was talking about the Russian influence, all this stuff months ago.
Mm-hmm.
I read the CrowdStrike report and the Fidelis report. These were two of the cybersecurity companies that investigated the hacking of the DNC that took June. So I read those reports months ago.
Well, you're a researcher. You're a hardcore researcher. And that's what I really appreciate about you, because there's not too many of us that really dive deep and, get to shuffling stuff around. Like, what's this? Okay, what's this?
Right.
And then we need you. We need brothers like you and sisters like you that really want to dive into the details, and to have that information is powerful. It really is powerful, and to understand. So
what I'm going to deal with on Sunday, because my presentation is about 50 minutes or so. So what I'm going to deal with on Sunday, we're going to deal with one of the things we'll deal with is the rise of Donald Trump and how he came to office. Because what a lot of people don't understand, there are parallels between Donald Trump and Richard Nixon, because Richard Nixon became president as a backlash to advancements made by African Americans, as a backlash to the civil rights movement, as a backlash to the Black Power movement. Okay. And Richard Nixon ran on the platform of law and order. Donald Trump became president as a total backlash to 2 terms of President Barack Obama that a lot of white people hated. Okay. Until they found out that they had Obamacare, but it was called the Affordable Care Act, and it was saving their lives. Okay. Now a lot of them like it. Okay. And then you have a backlash to protests against police misconduct, police killings, a whole Black Lives Matter movement, all this stuff. Donald Trump was a total backlash to all of that. He also ran on the platform of law and order.
Okay.
Which came from Donald Trump. Which came from Richard Nixon. So then if you look at what Trump is doing with his administration, and especially with his attorney general, they are reversing Obama era policies, and they're also backing away from the police consent decrees.
Wow.
Because Trump is a total he's for the police, but he's not for police accountability. So they don't want to deal with the shootings of unarmed African Americans, unjust shootings of unarmed African Americans. They don't want to deal with implicit bias in policing. They don't want to deal with any accountability for police. Okay?
Right.
And then we'll deal with some economic empowerment. We'll deal with some of the economic withdrawal strategies, things like this. And then I'll also talk a little bit about the Black Freedmen Indian Treaty of 1866, because that a lot of people talk about reparations, right? But that treaty is in effect right now for the 5 civilized tribes of Native Americans. Mm-hmm. And that's our best chance to get anything tangible along the line of reparations. And many of our ancestors were in that treaty, but got pushed out of it illegally around 1946, something like that. Got pushed out of it illegally. Okay. So those are just a few of the things that I'll deal with. But one of the things we have to understand is that politics impacts every aspect of our life. From the water we drink, the air we breathe, to the food we eat, to all aspects. Okay. And it's not about party affiliation. It's not about Democrat, Republican, Independent. It's about policies. Mm-hmm. Policies impact us. When you deal with police misconduct, that all comes from policy.
Right.
Understand this. So those are some of the things
that's key. I think that's really key for us to understand because it affects everybody. Exactly. And so for myself, I want to learn so much more about it as we you shared. We had a deep conversation prior to really diving into the politics, and that's always something I've kind of strayed away from in a certain level, but it's more to learn.
And see, the thing is, these policies that are being reversed, these are policies that President Obama put in place that most of us didn't even know were in existence.
Right. That's true.
And the reversal of these policies is definitely negative to us. Mm-hmm. Now, we have a new Secretary of Education, Betsy DeVos. Now we've been dealing in Michigan. We've been dealing with Betsy DeVos for years because her and her husband have been financing a whole charter school movement and
yes.
Okay. Now, when it comes to homeschooling African American children, all right, are there any guidelines or standards that need to be met? The reason why I ask this is because a child may be homeschooled, say, up until 8th grade, and then for whatever reason, the parents may say, "Okay, look, we want them to go to this particular high school because it's an excellent high school." Are there any type of
there are
that need to be met?
Absolutely. Every state has their various standards.
Okay.
So the states vary drastically.
Okay.
So it's key to make sure that you get in touch with, the education division of your homeschool, whatever it's called different things in different states.
Okay.
But you're clear about what those guidelines are, what the qualifications are. And one of the things that's important is that we, dot all our I's and cross all our T's to the best of our ability and make sure that, we're in the know of the information. Now, in terms of curriculum, there's some flexibility within that in most states. There's a lot of flexibility within that. And so we can infuse our worldview, through still the certain guidelines. So you have to be creative, with what that looks like and make sure that, you're just on point with everything that you're doing.
Okay. And the other reason why I asked that is because so the guidelines, but the guidelines that come from the state, I think they fall in line with guidelines from the Secretary of Education also, which is national?
No.
Okay.
No, they don't actually. There are, to some degree, yes.
Yeah.
Hold on. Can you still see me? My thing just went off. Hold on.
Let me see. I still see you. Let me check here. Hold on. I still see you. I'm monitoring on my phone also on Facebook.
Okay. Well, it's cool.
I see you here on Crowdcast. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
It is, and we'll be talking about that also at the Expo. How do we get started? How do we work through our challenges? A lot of us say, we would want a better education for our children. We want the greatest of the great for them. However, we have to start with all of the possibilities of how it can get done and not focus on all of the things that, that are the challenges to make it happen. And so that's one of the things that we're there to do that at the Expo, is to give that support, to give the knowledge to move through those activities in terms of your registering, in terms of making sure that you're in compliance, and at the same time making sure that you're giving, an education that is African-centered and that is the foundational aspect of our culture and who we are as well.
And the reason why I ask that is just so people know that, because there may come a time for whatever reason that you decide, okay, well, look, the child's been through first grade through 8th grade homeschooling. We're going to put them in this particular high school. And just so parents know there are guidelines to follow so that the child won't be behind when they matriculate, number one. But also, number two, if they're homeschooled, say for 1st through 12th grade, they decide they want to go to college. So they are ahead of the curve. So they know the different guidelines.
There's a whole you got to be clear. Everything is about creating a plan.
Exactly.
So you got to be clear about what your goals are, and that's one of the keys. I think a lot of people are just kind of knee-jerk reaction. Just I want to homeschool too. And it's like you really have to have a plan, and you got to be clear about what it is you want to see, what it is you want to manifest. What type of outcome you want to see, and that's not just from an academic standpoint, but just overall morals, values, opportunities. What is your educational philosophy? How do you look at things, and how do you look at the learning process? And also looking at your child, because your child will also give you the formula if you really listen to them and watch them and see the things they're interested in and see the way that they learn. So there's a lot of elements that go into that. And so it can be more than successful for every and all of us. It's just a matter of creating, like I said, the right plan, and the support network is key. Because even if you don't have a whole homeschool network, if you have one other family that you can connect with, if you're somewhere where you don't have any other families, there's online African-centered institutions now, where we have a few online institutions where the children come together at the Expo every year. So they take classes together online, and they come together and they, meet physically at the Expo every year. So there's so many different options, from homeschool co-ops to collectives, and there's so many options.
You don't have to do it by yourself. That's
no, it's not even like that anymore.
Some people, when they think of homeschooling, they think that I have to sit here,
quit my job, and sit at home
and teach them. It's like, no, there are different ways to do it.
Different ways. And really, when you think about it, as African people, we've always worked in a collective fashion anyway.
Right.
That's our natural way to be, is communal. And so, we have to stop making all these excuses, because our children are our greatest investment. If we're not willing to put that work in with them, then what are we really doing? What are we doing it all for? Why are we having children? If we're not willing to put that, sacrifice some things for the greater good, and to be able to pass on that torch to them, to be able to make each generation greater. Because it took us a while to get in this situation. It's going to take us a while to get out. And, the paradigm shift is here. It's already come. I keep people say, oh, the paradigm, we need to shift. I'm like, no, it's here. The shift has come.
Place. And the truth is coming out. I did a lecture last year. I did a lecture late last year in September called "The Time We Have Been Waiting For Is Now."
It's now.
Because when these
and the people we have been waiting for is us.
Right. Exactly. But these different events take place, truth comes out. They try to suppress the truth with all lies, and the truth comes out, and it's irrefutable. Okay.
Absolutely.
So once again, if you're just tuning in, hey, Michael Imhotep, founder of the African History Network. I'm speaking with Queen Taese, who's the founder of the Liberated Minds Black Homeschooling Education Expo. The Liberated Minds Black Homeschooling Education Expo. You heard me talk about it before. It's taking place this weekend, Friday, July 14th, Sunday, July 15th.
And I want to just say that, we are here for ongoing support as well. I'm a homeschool mother of 22 years. And still homeschooling, still have 3 more coming through.
Okay.
So, it just to encourage everyone, because when I started, there was, it definitely was not like this. Right. It was a lot of just trying to find my way, which still, it's not as if everything will be paved for you. However, this is the greatest time to do it now, where you have so many brothers and sisters who are embarking on that journey, and to have that collaboration and that support is so key.
Resources and help. But the other thing, so visit the website, liberatedmindsexpo.com, liberatedmindsexpo.com for more information and to register. You can also call for information, 678-368-8593. Yes. 678-368-8593. There's the fellowship on Friday, the real workshops and things like that are on Saturday and Sunday. And I do my presentation on Sunday as well. And there are things there for the children, workshops, etc., for the children also. The other thing is that Queen Taese also, even if parents send their children to a traditional school, there's still homeschooling that can take place at home.
Absolutely. That's the ultimate responsibility. We're all at different stages of this journey.
Right.
And so there is no excuses. We have to be able to work from where we are, from where we're at, and to build from that. There's no behind, there's no ahead. It's just from where we are. That's it. And so when it comes to our children, I always say even homeschooling itself, I mean, that word is, it's really just about taking the power of our children, their education into our own hands. And so from wherever that means, if your child is in public school, don't wait until, you say, I want to homeschool. Don't wait until, you're in that particular situation to have to be able to give them the pertinent information. Make sure that you're doing what you can on your part, that you're exposing them to the environments that will assist in developing their mind and developing their thought process and strengthening, their sense of self, their sense of power and who they are, because they must know in all given situations that they are almighty and powerful. And we have to make sure that whatever situation that we're in, if you're not exactly where you feel you want to be, and I would think that even when we progress on this journey, this always should be some aspiration. So everybody should be moving towards something, greater that they want to add on or build on. So, it's just a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful time. And I just give everybody the encouragement and the love to take that stance. Right. And like I said, we're here for ongoing support. We do consultant work. We give ongoing workshops. We do a lot of things to support the community for our children and for our parents, So if you sign up on the email list on the website, we'll make sure that you get each and everything, that's going on.
Okay. LiberatedMindsExpo.com. LiberatedMindsExpo.com is the website. We're going to put it here on the thread of the broadcast on Facebook as well. LiberatedMindsExpo.com. And then the other thing I was going to say is that, when I was a kid, my mom, my mother was a teacher. So she taught for decades in Detroit public schools. But during the summertime, she gave me homework to do Monday through Friday, and I had to do my homework before I
said, summertime, what's going on?
Summertime. And then she would take me to the library. So each week I had to read a different book and do a book report.
Okay. I love
during
it.
the summer. Okay. So this was homeschooling also. She won't say that she homeschooled.
Yes.
This is homeschooling. So it's critical also for the homeschooling to take place during the summertime, because you talk to teachers, and my mom, I come from a family of teachers, and you talk to other teachers, and they'll say that first month back to school, they have to spend a lot of time bringing the kids back up to the level they were before they went on vacation. It's a lot of wasted time.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and it's true. We, education is ongoing.
Yeah.
There's no, just because someone said, okay, from this time to this time you go to school, but life is school, life is education. So it never stops.
Right.
And utilizing every opportunity, every circumstance, every situation to be able to educate our children and share a word of encouragement or have them dissect the situation. It gives them the experience, the real life experience. And it goes beyond just the textbook and the worksheets. It really, when you can apply a lot of these things, that's when it really sinks in as truth. That's when you really can grab on those principles and those concepts to get you through life, and those tools, that we've been given. And it goes beyond also just the academics, as well. We talk about our spirituality. We talk about all aspects of morals, of values, all of the things that just being within nature, being connected to life, being in gratitude and appreciation for all the things that are around us that give us the strength, even if they look like challenges. Transforming those challenges into triumphs is really about how we look at things, our outlook.
Absolutely.
So, when we look at education, just getting rid of the whole concept that it's just solely academics, there's so to be well-rounded and to be holistic. They say holistic education now, but really it's just African education, African-centered way of thought.
Absolutely. Before I let you go, just tell people 2 or 3 of maybe the workshop presenters or speakers this coming weekend.
Sure. We have we got quite a few. We have Nana Marimba Ani, who's doing a special address.
Okay. Which day is that?
Yes. Really, and that's going to be for everybody. That's going to be a workshop for everybody that's there. We have young Michaela Omer, who will be sharing at our economic summit.
With Dr.
Got the $11 million deal. Her story is so dynamic. That's what I love. It's more than just the fact that she, got $11 million deal, but it's the fact that it's a family movement.
Sure. That,
both of her parents are in some level of management within her company, that her younger brother, who's I think 9 or 10 now, is the photographer for them, that the recipe came from her great grandmother. So it's talking about the intergenerational passing on of information, and that, the health consciousness of it, because it has flaxseed in it, all the things that we talk about now. Mm-hmm. And you think about this is from her great grandmother. That's very interesting, because that's years back, and it just shows how we utilize these things within our culture and our community before they got coined as, the best thing to have and all that. So, it's really tying in also her story of just taking a simple idea, and bringing it to the magnitude, which we all have the capability of doing. Something just really simple, and when you do it and you do it well and you get creative with it and you have a great time with it, the universe just opens up for you to accomplish any and everything.
This is Michaela with the lemonade, right?
Yes. Okay. Me and the Bees lemonade.
He was on the Shark Tank.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And so we felt her story had a lot to that was interwoven within it, right, that generally we don't hear in the media, in terms of our African generational wealth.
Now, Dr. Marimba Ani, she wrote the book Yurugu, an African-centered critique of European cultural thought and behavior.
Yes.
Which day is she speaking?
She will be there Saturday, midday on Saturday.
Okay.
Yes, probably about, I think at 3:00 is her presentation.
Midday on Saturday. Okay.
Yes.
Excellent. And I met her before. I need to interview that sister. That sister is brilliant. That sister is brilliant. Now,
yes.
Is Chike Akua, Dr. Chike Akua?
Yes, Dr. Chike Akua will be there as well. Who, if you know of him, you know his presentations are amazing.
Yes.
Dr.
Samori Kamara.
Samori Kamara, yes, who definitely, for those who know about Black homeschooling and are deep into it, you know that he plays a pivotal role, and he also will be getting honored this year, as well as Monica Utsi, which we have 2 honorees, male and female, within the homeschool education. I don't like to say movement, more than just a movement, but you know those who have done some pivotal things in this short amount of time, and really allowing us to, and assisting us, I should say, and to stepping into our true power on this journey of homeschooling.
Okay, excellent. Well, look, once again, everybody, it's Friday, July 14th through Sunday, July 16th in Atlanta, Georgia, at the Georgia Piedmont Technical College. 3 powerful days. Liberated Minds Black Homeschooling Education Expo. This will be my 5th year there.
Yes. You've been there almost since the conception of it.
I'm always a vendor there, and I'm a presenter. Yeah. So I'll be presenting on Sunday at the economic conference. And
brother Rick will be there with us this year too. Brother Rick Mathis. He'll be doing.
Oh yeah. So
you're in that
film of Black Friday. We're going to do Black because I'm in that documentary also. So which day is the screening? Is that Saturday or Sunday?
That's on Sunday, the Economic Summit. That starts off the day with our vegan brunch.
Okay. So and both days are at the Georgia Piedmont Technical Center, Saturday and Sunday?
Yes, both days. And Saturday from 8:30 to 8. So it's a long day. It's a lot of hard work.
Yep.
And Sunday is from 9 to 7. Which is still a lot. I
don't leave the Monday because we're supposed to be filming my portion of Black Friday Part 2 while I'm in Atlanta. So I don't leave till Monday late at night, late Monday. So that's good. So also on Sunday, so we'll do a screening of the documentary Black Friday, the remix from director Rick Mathis. And I'm in the documentary. You have Dr. Claude Anderson, Professor Kaba Kamene. You have a lot of people in there. George Frazier. The new one has Dr. Boyce Watkins and Les Brown. And it deals with economic empowerment. It deals with 2 main things: strategies to recycle our $1.3 trillion economy, number 1, and then also strategies to create intergenerational wealth for our children so we can pass down assets as opposed to bills and debt. Okay, so it's a fantastic documentary. We're going to show that. I'm in it. The Chike Akua is in the documentary as well. So check that out. We'll probably have a discussion or something about that also. And looks like we just lost Queen Taese, so we're waiting on her to reconnect. So even if you can just come for one day, first of all, tell your friends in the Atlanta area about this. LiberatedMindsExpo.com. LiberatedMindsExpo.com is the website. We're going to post the link here. I mean, we'll post the flyer once again. I've been posting it here on our Facebook fan page, The African History Network. A lot of people want to find out about homeschooling or just tools to educate their children at home, right? And you hear me talk about how every African-American household has to have an education center. Every African-American household has to have an education center, okay? So we have entertainment centers, all right? We'll have the flat screen TV and the Wii and the PlayStation and things like this. OK, but we have to have the entertainment centers also. OK, so we have to have the books and the Globe and the Almanac and the dictionaries and the science books and math books, history books, the children's books, different things like this. Also, we have to have every African-American household has to have an education center also, okay? And you can tell children who come from parents who read and children who come from parents who don't read as well. You can tell by the intelligence level. People who read usually have a greater or more prodigious vocabulary. And the their conversation reflects what's in their mind. Well, your thoughts create feelings, your feelings create actions and behaviors, your actions and behaviors create results. Your thoughts create feelings, your feelings create actions and behaviors, your actions and behaviors create results. Okay. So, so this is what we're dealing with. So there's a lot of things that we can do when it comes to educating our children. People complain about politicians and complain about this and that, and Trump did this and this, and I don't like Hillary, and Bernie didn't make it, all this. But what are you doing to better the education and the future of your children? Power is the ability to define and shape reality and have other people accept your definition of reality as if it were their own. Power coming from the Latin word potere, meaning to be able. Power is the ability to define and shape reality and have other people accept your definition of reality as if it were their own. Okay. So what are we doing on a daily basis to improve the education of our children? It's one thing to complain they don't teach African history in the school. Okay. Do you teach it at home? Where are the African history books? Where the African history children's books, like Classical Africa by Dr. Molefi Kete Asante, Classical Africa by Dr. Molefi Kete Asante, which is written for middle school, like middle school children, 7th, 8th grade children. Excellent book. Accurate history, but it's written on a level that school children can understand it. You don't have to have a PhD in anthropology or archaeology or Africana studies to be able to understand it. If you go to theblackHomeschool.com, you have a lot of books there. They have lists of different books for children on all different types of books for African-American children. So what are we doing on a daily basis? And the other thing is success. Success is where preparation meets opportunity. Okay. Success is where preparation meets opportunity. So it's one thing to talk about the school my child goes to is poor, or the school system is poor, or terrible school system, what have you. Even if you can't take them fully out of that school system, there's still homeschooling that can take place at home in the evening, on the weekend, taking them to the library, taking them to museums. And then also a lot of times in our families, this is why at our family reunions, we need to create these educational groups at our family reunions. Because a lot of time at a family reunion, you may have an aunt who lives in Mississippi, or the grandmother that lives in Florida, used to be a school teacher, or you may have relatives that are school teachers. Okay. And you have this cousin who got a in algebra. So this cousin can tutor the other cousin who has a D in algebra. You have this aunt over here who used to be a chemistry teacher. So she can help her nieces and nephews who are taking chemistry. A lot of times we have resources in our family that go untapped. Because see, I have an aunt who used to, my mother used to teach science and math. And I had an aunt that was a science teacher. Okay. So I grew up indoctrinated into science. I grew up with 2 sets of encyclopedias, a dictionary, a thesaurus, a globe, an almanac, an atlas, science books. I grew up with all that. I grew up with magnifying glasses, microscopes. I grew up with that. So it's one thing to blame white supremacy, but the question is, what are we going to do about white supremacy? See, we can have white supremacy conferences and make documentaries about white supremacy, things like this, but then what are we going to do about it? If we don't fight back against white supremacy and educate ourselves and right knowledge, then doesn't that mean we're complicit with white supremacy? White supremacy is a false concept that has real consequences and repercussions. But what are we doing to fight back a fight against white supremacy? See, these are real questions. It's one thing to do Facebook posts and do shows and all this stuff talking about white supremacy. But then what are you going to do about it? Okay, let's go quickly to some. I was waiting for Queen Taese to try to, let me see if she's on here. She's on. I think we lost her. I know she was having a connection problem. So on our Facebook fan page, the African History Network, we posted it. Also at AfricanHistoryNetwork.com, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com, we have the flyer there on the homepage of our website, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. Okay. So, all right, guys, look, we got to get out of here. Share this broadcast on your own Facebook page. Invite your friends to tune in. And remember that I teach an online class, Ancient Kemet, the Moors, and the Ma'afa, understanding the transatlantic slave trade, what they didn't teach you in school, understanding the transatlantic slave trade, what they didn't teach you in school. This is a 12-hour, 6-week online course. There's a lot of information that you can take from that and use in homeschooling to teach to your children. Okay. We'll post a link here. Next class is Friday, July 14th, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. All the sessions are recorded. So if you miss any of it, you can go back and watch it over and over again. All the sessions are recorded. We just posted information. It says register here. Next class, Friday, July 14th. As soon as you register, first of all, the full course is only $40. Okay. So for the price of 8 cups of Starbucks coffee, that's the price of the course. As soon as you register, first 3 sessions, you can watch. All the sessions are recorded. And we have about 12 hours of bonus content there as well. Okay. So all that information is there. All right. All right. So you can check that out. And then also at our website, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. You can listen to audio podcasts of our shows. We have 760 audio podcasts of our shows there that you can listen to. They're also on our iTunes channel, the African History Network Show. You can read articles that I write at AfricanHistoryNetwork.com in connection to our YouTube channel. We have over 600 YouTube videos as well that you can check out also. We have that there as well, over 600 YouTube videos. Okay. So all that's available at AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. Follow us here on our Facebook fan page, The African History Network, The African History Network. And we post articles throughout the day. We have videos, all that information. Okay. And all of my lectures are at our website, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com also. So all that helps support the African History Network, helps to help us keep doing what we do, research, things like this. Because number one, it's not free to teach these classes. A lot of people who don't teach and don't do what I do don't know what it costs to do this. This is why they make idiotic statements like the person on Facebook right now. But we have an online school. That online school is not free. That online school is very expensive each month to maintain. It's about $700 a month to be able to teach these online courses. Okay. So that stuff is not cheap. Okay. And it is expensive, and it takes a lot of time and effort to be able to do the research to put this information into a class format, number one. Number two, also just to be able to do the radio shows. That's a lot of time doing research, okay, and be able to put that into a format for to be able to teach that and for people to be able to understand it as well. Okay, so we have people on Facebook. All right, Erica, Roscoe, just a few of the people watching. Share this broadcast on your own Facebook page. Invite your friends to tune in. And we'll see you in Atlanta this weekend at the Liberated Minds Black Homeschool and Education Expo, the Liberated Minds Black Homeschool and Education Expo. Okay. Friday, July 14th through Sunday, July 16th at the Georgia Piedmont Technical Center. Even if you can come for just one day, do that. And that day will totally blow you away. All right. And you want to be there next year for the whole conference. All right. If you are a business, be sure to bring some business cards. And I got to remember to pack mine. I have some, but I'm going to pack some more. And I got my information, have my pamphlets, all that. You can come and network also. It's a good networking place as well. And you're going to see some people there you already know, haven't seen in years as well also. Okay. So we just posted a link again, register for our online course. And we have the information here about the broadcast here, and it has the link there for liberatedmindsexpo.com, liberatedmindsexpo.com, which is the official website of the expo, and they have information for hotel accommodations also. All right. I had to figure out where I'm going to stay. Because I didn't book it at the conference hotel. I booked my flight. And I'll just figure it out when I get there where I'm staying. But my flight is booked. That's the most important thing, to get there and get back. Once I get there, I can figure things out from there. All right. Okay. So, hey, we have to get out of here. Remember, at the African History Network, we focus on educating, empowering, and inspiring people of African descent throughout the diaspora and around the world, because right now it corrects wrong behavior. Remember, what you do for yourself, what you do to yourself, and what you allow other people to do to you is based upon what you think about yourself. What you think about yourself is based upon what you have been taught about yourself. What you have been taught about yourself is based upon everything you've read, heard, and seen about yourself. Remember, right knowledge corrects wrong behavior. It's not over till we win. We'll talk to you next time, and we'll see you in Atlanta. Peace.